Hello and welcome. There have been unconfirmed reports that Boko Haram may have retaken the commercial town of Gamboru in Nigeria's northeast Borno state, where they were recently pushed out by Chadian troops. Sources say the border town with Chad was left unguarded after the Chadian troops liberated it and flushed out the insurgents. The sources say the insurgents Thursday attacked 3 Borno villages, killing not less than 20 civilians near Nigeria's border with Cameroon. The sources actually were quoted as saying that it was a reprisal attack and that many Nigerians from the area had fled to Kushiri village in Cameroon. Now, that source, a particular source, actually said the insurgents stormed Gamboru, setting many homes ablaze while shooting indiscriminately, leading to the death of 20 persons. Now, both the government of Nigeria and Chad are yet to confirm the new attack. Boko Haram has been on the back foot after troops from Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, and of course Niger launched a joint offensive against the militant Islamic sect. Nigeria says it has flushed out the insurgents from all but 3 towns they control. With Nigeria's general elections less than 2 weeks away, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Tahiru Jega, says the electoral body is ready to conduct the 2015 general election scheduled to take place next week. At a meeting with civil society bodies in Abuja, Professor Jega said the time provided by the postponement of the election has actually helped the commission to articulate its plans for the conduct of a successful poll. He, however, raised concerns over the security of INEC staff and NYC members who would be working during the election days, especially in the northeast of the country, where troops are currently battling to flush out Boko Haram insurgents. Professor Jega, however, said the presidential election would hold March 28, while the governorship election would hold April 11th. Now, it's been a very busy day in Lagos as both the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Muhammadu Buhari, and the wife of President Goodluck Jonathan, Patience, were in the city to canvass votes. Buhari held at least 2 town hall meetings and a rally in different parts of the city. We caught up with him in the town hall meeting he held with artisans in Lagos, where he unfolded some of his agenda for small and medium enterprises.
We intend to improve the security of the country to enable self-employed craftsmen like your good selves to carry on your profession in as safe an environment as possible. Our government, if elected, promises to provide basic support to your businesses, especially with regards to power, which constitutes about 30 to 40% of your operational costs and eating into your profits. We are committed to accelerate a steady power supply to reduce this burden on your businesses, to make them more efficient and profitable. Regular power supply will mean that the average artisan will save 1,500 naira a day that is spent on fuel for generators. That amounts to 45,000 naira a month and 540,000 naira a year, which a hard-working artisan can then spend on himself and his family. A better economy and a better exchange rate will give your groups cheaper operating costs and the ability to purchase tools and raw materials for your businesses. Only when your work, you have worked it out and closely cost the damage that poor national power supply does to individual businesses, does one realize that calamity this government has visited on the Nigerian economy.
Now, Buhari was not the only one who addressed the artisans. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola gave a passionate speech with the PDP coming under the hammer. Take a listen to what he said.
Some of you have probably seen a new device. Those of us who use mobile phones, we now carry something in addition to the mobile phone, a power pack. Not so? Why are we carrying it? Oftentimes, there is no power. So, you know who is making the money from those power packs? Chinese tradesmen, Chinese artisans, Chinese factories. They have enough electricity. They don't need it there. But they know that we are suffering. So they manufacture it, we import it, then we carry it. And it carries 3 words: made in China. Your phone, made in. Your glasses, made in. We have men and women who can turn that around. With the right government, with the right policies, this country will only reach its peak when it begins to do 3 things. There's something defined by 3 things. When you look at our clothing, when you look at our glasses, when you look at our phones, when you see the words made in Nigeria, then you know that Nigeria has arrived. Now, the PDP does not believe in that. If they believed in that, power will be the thing that they will deliver promptly and quickly. And after 16 years of a PDP government, several billions of dollars down the drain, every time they commission a new power plant that was commissioned 10 years ago, power reduces. So you will not see made in Nigeria unless you send away the PDP from the center. The other thing you must do, we have heard about soft loans. If the interest rate and the borrowing rate is too high, you know what it does? When you borrow, the government by its own policy has told foreign companies, my goods are too expensive, you bring your own. If your production cost is too high because you generate your own power, you pay high interest rate, and power is 2% of the production cost in Europe, and interest on loans is 1 or 2%, can you compete? And it is the PDP policies that are raising interest rate to 24-30%. Are you ready to continue with this? I know you are not ready. I know you are persuaded. I know you will vote General Buhari. But this is the message you must take home to your employees. This is the message you must take home to your spouses who are not here. This is the message you must take home to your community and residents association. Why PDP cannot continue in power? Because it will destroy what is left of Nigeria. Now, does PDP like artisans? My view is no. Let me give you one example. A country that continues to import fuel, kerosene, diesel, and petrol, when it has the raw material here, does not like artisans. Because when you have refineries working here, you will have artisans, filters, welders, plumbers, working in the engineers, working in the refinery. So all the jobs that you should have been doing, the PDP is happy to export it to overseas refineries. The difference between the current president and the current minister for petroleum and when General Buhari was minister for petroleum was that we were exporting petrol out of Nigeria during his tenure as petroleum minister. That is the difference. It meant that our refineries were working during his tenure as petroleum minister. It meant that if refineries were working, artisans were employed in those refineries, providing all sorts of support and maintenance. That is the difference you have to choose in this election. Again, ask yourself, really, if today state governments cannot collect their monthly FAC allocations. And construction companies are laying off workers. Between December 2014 and March this year, this March we are in, I conducted a snap survey of 4 construction companies, the big 4. In 3 months, they have laid off 5,000 construction workers who are Nigerians. Is that friendly to artisans? Who are the people who work with construction companies? So just get it and take it home. Maybe you still have a job, but some people have started losing theirs, and it may be your turn.
Well, quite a passionate speech there. Still on the town hall meeting, APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari told the gathering that if he is elected president in the coming elections, he would launch a probe into the power sector.
The National Assembly at some stage was concerned about 3 major social institutions or industries: power, pension funds, and the petroleum industry. So they conducted hearing in Abuja and the 6 geopolitical zones. The revelations are frightening, but whatever it is, they treated it constitutionally. They forward their recommendation to the presidency, and that is the end of it. An APC government will have to study that hearing by the National Assembly, because the presentation given by people throughout the country, documentary presentations and recorded ones, will help in quickly coming to grips with the problem of power, of the missing pension funds, and the extreme corruption in the petroleum industry.
Now, First Lady Patience Jonathan was in Lagos as well to campaign for her husband, that's the president. A huge crowd of party supporters gathered at the National Stadium in Surulere to listen to the wife of the president as she continues her countrywide campaign for her husband. She told the crowd that her husband remains the best choice to govern the country, saying the opposition has nothing to offer.
You can see that whether you win, job is provided, skill acquisition is provided, grants is provided, you know. We demand NDTL, the map out, she win, which is God win. And the God win, they say they are putting it in budget, and they put it in budget, so that we will have funding. Nobody will stop us. Our girls will go to school. Our girls will be trained. Our girls will get employment. Our girls will get loans. Remember, under that she win, 27 schools, 27 girls' schools have been built. They are still building it all over the country today. It's alive. Go and find out. We are not propagandists. And my dear, the boys, our children, who don't say you are you, but you are the girls, you will never like. That's just go to school. If you get admission, if you want to go to school, don't choose out of 25 best schools in the world. If you want to go to Gamboru, it's available. Navado is available. Oxford is available. Now don't choose your brain as far as they can take you there. Federal government is ready to fathers. Come and vote for PDP. Come and vote for Ibache. Come and vote for Buhari and
Now, you don't expect a campaign by the First Lady to just go without throwing a jibe at her husband's main rival, Muhammadu Buhari of the main opposition APC. Even though she did not mention Buhari by name, you could at least clearly tell who she was referring to when she made this remark. Take a listen. Well, what can I say? What can I really say? Rivers State Governor and the Director General of the Buhari Campaign Organization, Rotimi Amaechi, has criticized President Goodluck Jonathan for not doing enough to rescue the Chibok schoolgirls who were kidnapped by Boko Haram on April 14th last year. Addressing a gathering in Abuja where Muhammadu Buhari unveiled his security agenda, Amaechi said the president's handling of the Chibok girls' abduction leaves so much to be desired.
They are no longer Chibok girls, they are Chibok women. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is no young girl can suffer what these young girls have suffered. The only way you can suffer it is if you are a woman. So the fact that the president does not even care to bring them back, every day they are coming. They are coming. They are coming. About how the South will start breaking pipes. I'm sure most of you have heard that. They say when Abacha was head of state, we all came for 2 billion march. They say, God, where is this? Is it Washington DC? They say no. Is it New York? They say no. Where is it? They say it's Abuja. This is Abuja. They say yes. Abacha, why is our own Abuja in the South side? They say it's in the pipeline. We got to bring back. Tell me why I should be arrogant. I grew up in a poor background. You listen to Femi Fadika, he's not quoting me properly. I said for 3 years in the university, I wore the same shirt and trousers. I'm proud to tell Femi Fadika that I wore the same shirt and trousers and the government of the East. When I was young, anytime he goes out, they say, oh, that's just Okuta, the son of Justice Okuta. Time will come when, that's just Okuta, the father of, before my father died, he used to say, that's Chibuike Rotimi's father. What does he mean? This is after my father had achieved his goal. I overtook him. When I was growing up, they used to say, see, today is Amaechi's son. Before he died, that's what Amaechi's father. Let Femi Fani himself allow people to identify him. Our brothers and sisters in the north, those of us living in the south, must speak well. You agree? Yes. You know, one program that APC has put in their manifesto that interests me, I couldn't do it because of lack of money, is feeding. It will attract children to school. But beyond attracting children to school is the fact that even if you don't want to go to school, you go and decide that every day you can at least eat once. The country and the economy is so bad that so many families can't eat once a day. And the president is passing, what am I saying? And it's so right? You can't be dancing that kind of dance the same day or the day before that day when they were shooting at Lekki. Yes. I don't know how the president felt. No, I don't know. And all the police in Lagos were with the president. When the citizens were left, the God bless all of us. I wish you.
Now, former Lagos State Governor and leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has tongue-lashed the leader of the Odua People's Congress, Gani Adams, over the destruction of APC campaign billboards during the OPC rally in support of President Jonathan early this week. Here's what Tinubu had to say about the OPC rally.
Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. They send one boy out. Recently, they called him Gani Adam, right? And they asked him to go and be fighting poster. Go do a poster, they say make a fight. If he dares fight any of you, you know what to do. You have my endorsement. You know what to do. Defend yourself. It's the rule. Any máa jẹun gbọ̀ngbọ̀n. Ọmọ tí ò gbọ́ràn ńkọ́. Ìjọ́júbọ̀rọ̀ náà fi ń gbọ́ ọmọ lọ́wọ́ èkùrọ́. Àbí? Ọlọ́run á dúró tì yín o. Ojú ò ní tì yín o. Ìbò yìí a máa di ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́.
Now, the Transition Monitoring Group has cautioned the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, MASOB, and the Odua People's Congress over their recent protests in the country. In a statement signed by its chairman, Ibrahim Zikirulai, Wednesday, the TMG expressed concerns that the two ethnic militias were disrupting peace and inciting violence in the process of airing their grievances on national issues. The group also slammed security agencies such as the police for not taking action against unrest, saying security agencies connived with the protesters. It maintained that although the TMG was not opposed to protests as a tool for drawing attention to issues, the manner in which the OPC and MASOB have conducted themselves so far was anti-democracy. Now, the group's leader said some Nigerians who are supposed to be interested in the stability and well-being of their country should not be actively conniving with power mongers and the government to undermine the electoral system. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, John Odije Oyegun, has described the defection of the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gali Umar Naba, from the ruling PDP to the opposition party as a quality capture for his party. Speaking while receiving the former Speaker at the APC Secretariat in Abuja, Oyegun said Naba's action actually was a mark of courage and that he would not be disappointed by his action.
For the APC has been a matter of quality. Today, we are receiving a personality of indisputable quality into our ranks. A man of achievement, a man of principle, a man who has displayed in no uncertain terms that he shares the ideals of our party. For a long time, he struggled, he walked within the fold of the PDP to see if he can steer the ship back to safe waters. But of course, all that to no effect, because, like he said, and I'm going to refer to his wonderful statement over and over again. Like he said, what did you call them again? The dubious characters have taken over the PDP.
Now, a federal high court in Abuja has struck out a suit filed by a group, Society for Advancement and Protection of Public Rights, seeking an order to stop the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from exclusively using the permanent voter cards for the conduct of the forthcoming general elections. The presiding judge, Justice Abdul Qadir Abdul Kafarati, on Wednesday struck out the suit following the application of discontinuance filed by the plaintiff. Meanwhile, the plaintiff had since filed another suit before Justice Gabriel Kolawole, opposing the use of the card reader machine for the forthcoming polls, rescheduled to hold on March 28 and April 11, 2015. The group argued that since INEC had not engaged in trial application of the PVC and card readers, the effectiveness of the machine could not be guaranteed. It wanted the court to, among others, direct INEC to revert to the use of temporary voter cards, which it said had been tested during previous elections. Now, there are two reported pending suits challenging the use of card reader machines for the conduct of the general elections at the Federal High Court in Abuja, with the other filed by three political parties before Justice Adeniyi Ademola. Representatives of Chibok community, where over 200 schoolgirls were kidnapped by Boko Haram last April, have paid a courtesy visit to the Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to show support for the rebuilding of the school there by the government. They also said the visit was to debunk an earlier statement made by another group of elders of the community who had said the government should focus on rescuing the girls rather than rebuilding the school. The finance minister had led a delegation of government officials to the community recently, that's not quite long ago, actually 2 weeks ago, to lay the foundation for the rebuilding of the school.
We are here on behalf of Chibok community at home to appreciate and thank you for visiting Chibok. We thank you very much. Madam, our most priority still is the rescue and return of our daughters, bring them back home safe and well. We are here to dispel some of reports of rejecting safe school initiative which you led the foundation at Chibok. We thank you for that. There are some people who said they don't want the school, but that, to us at home, it was only a communication gap between we who are at home and those who wrote those press. In fact, those who present those press, they don't have their daughters in the localities there. There are boys and girls are reading outside the Chibok village. So we parents who are at home, in fact, we need the reconstruction of this school very much. Madam, sincerely, I want to tell you that we who are at home welcome the development and all forms of project that will come to Chibok. We welcome it wholeheartedly. We will expect the federal government to fulfill all its promises Mr. President made to us when we parents paid him at his last. Gentlemen of the press, please, please, I want to appeal to you. Do not carry anything outside which we told you. We come here non-political. We are here to see that Chibok is developed.
Well, just a few weeks ago, another group of elders had addressed a press conference in Abuja where they criticized the government of seeking to score a cheap political point by laying the foundation for the rebuilding of the school rather than concentrating on rescuing the 219 schoolgirls who are still missing. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll be looking at other stories. Don't go away.
My name is Martin Onovo, a registered engineer with over 22 years international engineering and management experience spanning across Europe, America, and Nigeria. I am the presidential candidate of the National Conscience Party, founded in 1994 by the late Chief Ganifa Ahime. About 70% of our people today live below the poverty line. Millions of our youths are unemployed. Life expectancy in Nigeria is among the lowest in the world. We face a monumental national debt crisis. Adequate power supply continues to elude us, and our country ranks among the most corrupt worldwide. The 2015 general elections present us a golden opportunity to turn our predicament around. The problem is bad leadership. What we simply need is good leadership. Together with my running mate, Alhaji Muhammad Ibrahim, we promise you that good leadership that we need with our 10-care program and our accelerated development agenda. We promise to provide security and confront corruption critically, to reduce the fuel price by increased domestic crude oil refining, to increase the minimum wage by decreasing the maximum wage, to use about $9 billion to double electricity supply in 2.5 years, to promote quality education, improve agriculture, and improve infrastructure. We will do much more. What we need is your vote. Vote for a new Nigeria. Vote for NCP.
Welcome back. Global warming is changing our economy, health, and communities in more ways than we can imagine. The world, including Nigeria, is beginning to realize that the dangers of climate change and global warming can be vast, as experts have warned that if we do not aggressively address the problem now, the results will likely be disastrous. But just how worried should Nigerians be? Thelma Okoro tries to answer that question with this report.
Climate change has become a new reality in Nigeria and a worldwide phenomenon due to its harmful effects and how it's affecting our world. Over the past few years in Nigeria, various forums have been organized to discuss just how serious the issue of climate change is. And the discussions are still continuing. One of such gatherings is this annual forum organized by Africa's first carbon trading platform, the Carbon Credit Network, in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, with climate change and global warming on the front burner.
The leader must be available or arranged for another member of the team.
Tagged Go Green Africa, professionals, stakeholders and children from different schools across the country gathered to focus on the dangers of a change in weather conditions and how it affects communities, people and businesses in Nigeria and Africa.
How is the planet that we are living in going to be sustained such that by the time we are gone, what are we going to leave back? What is the kind of posterity or legacy that we are going to leave in? Because the way we are progressing today, there is no clear indication that in the next 40, 50 years, the world will not come to an end. If we continue this same way, the Arctic and the polar region and different effects that we are seeing all over the world today is nothing so palatable if you really want to look at that. Leaving our land fallow, so that we can farm on it again. But we have the luxury of land. What are we doing? We are building up the whole place so that we can sell and make more money, isn't it? We are not giving cognizance or regards to the mother health. So because of that, it's going to fight back somehow.
To encourage Nigerians to go green and help in checking climate change, various green products such as biofuel and solar-powered solutions, innovative renewable energy products were put on display.
This one might not be enough in your house. You need 3 kVA, at least.
After the general session ended, the children were invited to participate in the discussion as a way to enlighten them on the dangers of climate change.
Climate change is the general weather condition of a place. How to fight climate change? When we are not using a laptop, we should off it. 2, we should off our bulb when we are not using it. 2, we should always off our generator when we are not using it. How we can keep our environment clean is that when we observe that our environment is dirty, we quickly clean it up before the insects come and affect us with illness. We can save Nigeria by recycling all the trash needed to be recycled.
With a brilliant tutorial on climate change given by these children, one of the organizers described why it was important for the children to participate in the discourse.
They know that they can clean up their environment. They know that they can put off electrical appliances when not in use. They know that there's certain materials that shouldn't be in use. For example, generators. These are carbon materials, that is being emitted, and then all of them, both the children, the mothers, they also inhale that, and that affects their health. So what we're telling the children now is that what can you do? We've also asked the children to partner and pick up bottles in their environment. These bottles can be reused, they can be recycled, and the children have done a lot with that.
Experts also tell us just how worried Nigerians should be about climate change and what role the government has to play on the issue.
We had basic seasons. We had the rainy season coming between March and April. We have the dry season. So what global warming has done is that for our local farmers, it has destroyed the calendar. They don't know when they're going to get the rainy season. They don't know when they're going to get the dry season anymore. I think we had in Lagos, we had the Harmattan coming almost in January when it was supposed to have started since November last year. So those are that's part of the things that global warming does to the farmers. Then also it degrades the soil. What we have erosion, increased erosion. We have the depletion of the soil, the nutrients in the soil and all that.
The government have the responsibility to do this. They are not doing enough as it's expected. Like you see the political campaigns and the like, we have very little or few, aspirants or contestants that have really talked about what climate change is and how it's going to affect us. Even though we want to build good economy, we want to build infrastructure, we want to create jobs and the like, but we still need a planet or a universe or an environment that is healthy and safe. So that is why governments still need to beef up and do more.
Described as one of the greatest challenges facing the world right now, climate change has had a significant impact on Nigeria in terms of food production, economy and changes in atmospheric condition. Experts say the country must now devise innovative ways of tackling the huge challenges in order to mitigate the impact of global warming. Thelma Okoro, TV360, Lagos.
Well, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the current emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi, says the federal government of Nigeria has not adequately addressed the issues surrounding the missing $20 billion oil money. Sanusi, $20 billion, I should say, oil dollars money. Now, Sanusi, who is now known as Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II, had last year raised the alarm about missing $20 billion, but was removed shortly after by President Goodluck Jonathan. The federal government later hired an international audit firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to audit the account of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. The PwC report stated that NNPC must remit $1.48 billion to the Federation account. However, during an interview with Christian Amanpour on the cable news network CNN on Wednesday, Sanusi said that the level of corruption in the oil sector was still high. He added that Nigeria's economic crisis caused by a fall in oil prices, a stock market crash, and the devaluation of the naira was due to the mismanagement of oil funds. The emir praised the military for its recent successes in the fight against terrorism, saying Boko Haram would have been curtailed if the anti-terror war has started a long time ago. Now, the NNPC has reacted to the emir's statement over the alleged missing $20 billion, saying he got it wrong. Spokesperson of the NNPC, Ohialegbe, in a statement said the corporation had already been cleared by both the Senate Committee on Finance and the PricewaterhouseCoopers report. A day after 23 people were killed and more than 40 wounded in Tunisia, the country's president, Bashar al-Assad, has actually promised to wage a merciless war on terrorism, saying Tunisia would fight to its last breath. His statement comes just as the international community denounced Wednesday's assault on the National Bardo Museum in Tunis. 9 people have been arrested in connection with the attack. The president's office said 4 of the suspects were directly connected with the attack, while the other 5 suspects are accused of having ties to the terrorist cell involved in the tragedy. The arrest came after Tunisia's prime minister said one of the gunmen who stormed the museum was known to intelligence services. The army has now been deployed to protect large cities in Tunisia. The U.S. Defense Department has confirmed it killed al-Shabaab leader Adnan Gara. The Pentagon says a drone equipped with Hellfire missiles in southern Somalia last Friday hit the militant. Gara was a suspect in the 2013 Watergate Mall attack in Nairobi that left 67 people dead. The U.S. believes Gara was overseeing operations that target U.S. persons and other Western interests. Meanwhile, Washington has supported an African Union force which has driven the fundamentalist group from strongholds across Somalia since 2011. The UN's Defense Department said in a statement that Gara's death has dealt another significant blow to the al-Shabaab terrorist organization in Somalia. Now, hours before the Pentagon confirmed the news, an al-Shabaab attack killed 4 in northeast Kenya and vowed to punish Kenya for its role in the AU force. To sports now, the Federation of Ugandan Football Association has confirmed that Uganda will play Nigeria next week in an international friendly. A statement on the website of the local soccer body on Thursday said the friendly match will take place on Wednesday, 25th of March at the Akwa Ibom International Stadium. Uganda's international friendly with Nigeria comes barely 48 hours after the Bolivian football team called off its international friendly match with Nigeria scheduled for March the 26th. Uganda and Nigeria last squared it out in 2007 in the 2008 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Now both teams will use the friendly to tune up for the 2017 Nations Cup qualifier that starts mid this year. World Football Governing Body FIFA has decided that the 2022 World Cup in Qatar is to be played in November and December, and the final will be held on December 18th. FIFA Executive Committee adopted the position following a recommendation by a task force that was set up specifically to discuss the issue. A FIFA official, Di Gregorio, told reporters the starting date had yet to be decided, but the intention was that the tournament would last 4 weeks. The European Clubs Association, ECA, which represents more than 200 teams, previously said they would demand compensation for having to alter the domestic season. Well, we'll wait and see what their reaction would be to this new date being suggested by FIFA. But quite frankly, a World Cup in December, that would be quite strange. We'll just wait and see what happens. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again.